we're losing that concept of somebody's coming to you for help. It's become very much an in-the-moment type of a field now. It's not so much about the long view, and it's not so much about repeated acquisition of data and building a case study. It's about getting into a place for one night, having something happen, coming out and saying, yep, haunted. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest disservices that has happened.
It's become more legend tripping.
It has. And it's more about just making a notch in your belt about going to a place, or, you know, adding another investigation to the list on your website for your case files. And it's not about going there and, you know, repeatability. It's not about going there and figuring out the why. Like, we make way too quick at assumptions these days, where we hear a story about a place going in, and so let's just use a house on Main Street that a woman was killed in that house in 1920 by her husband. He strangled her to death. And so we go to this house, we go to investigate. Something happens, we reach out, we make a connection, we come out of there, and we say, well, we talked to the lady who got strangled to death in 1920. But you don't know that for sure. And even if something was there and claimed to be that person, it doesn't mean it definitely was.
Right.
And like we just want to wrap everything up quickly and move on to the next case, that we're not going back and checking things out again and again and again. You know, one of the people I would put on a shelf or on a pedestal and tell other investigators, like, follow this model of what he's doing, would be Andy Lake.
Yeah.
Because Andy never just takes things at face value for the first investigation. When it's done, he won't even tell you about what he thinks is going on there yet. He won't even make any assumption. He'll say it's too soon to tell. I went there, some things happened, but I can't be sure. I don't want to talk about it yet. You know, he's there for the 4th, 5th, 6th trip before he'll even talk about it with us, let alone bring it to the radio and talk about it here. You know, like that's gone from a lot of the research, because it's more about going somewhere and saying that you went there. You know, it's selfie paranormal now, where it's more about just taking that photo of yourself standing outside than it is about what it is that you're doing inside.
Yeah, Andy's an investigator's investigator. He's there for the subject matter. It's not for, like you're saying, put another tick on the box saying, I checked this place out, I checked that place out. He's about the procedure, doing the work, doing the research of the place. Going in, okay, let me set up my cameras this way. Let me set up my cameras that way. Let me record this part and let me record that part. He's very methodical. And that's why I like doing work with him. He's probably one, other than you guys, he's one of the only other people I will go out and, do private cases with.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't even get involved in that level of case, like, especially myself. Like, I know I don't have that kind of time to commit to somebody and to dealing with that, so like, that's a level of respect that I think you have to have for someone that's willing to let you come into their place. It's different if it's like, hey, I have this heritage museum that I think might be haunted. You can kind of go there and do a one night thing and say, well, we didn't find anything, but feel free to invite another group in, or, what have you. But when somebody is calling you about something going on at their house and they're having an issue, like, you owe it to them, if they're willing to let you come in, to do the best job that you can. And the best job that you can doesn't involve just going there one time and just handling it one night only. So I think that's probably the biggest disservice that's being done right now, is that it's not about, and I can say this because I have no issue telling you that when I do an investigation, 9 times out of 10, it's for an event, and it's a business thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to take a moral high ground here for investigators, but I can say that we're losing that concept of somebody's coming to you for help.
Yep.
And I would never say to somebody that's having an issue that calls me in for help, can I bring other people here Can I charge people admission to get in? Can I sell this to a TV show? Like none of that stuff would come into my mind if I was trying to help somebody. And I think that there's too much of that that's going on. And I'm not saying that it's everybody, but there's a groundswell of it. And I think that's probably what would shock somebody the most that has been away from this for 20 years, is to find out that not only are there a lot more people that are doing it, but there's a lot of people that are doing it to get something out of it.